Do I really think that I can just disappear for about 4 months and come back like nothing ever happened? Well, yes, and here I am. Today I'm going to show you how to replace your Saab 9.3 fuel injector and fuel pressure regulator that went horrifically wrong. And yes, there is no clickbait. So yes, I do have a few other videos planned to make for this channel and for my second tech channel, but time management, yada yada, just stay tuned. Trust me, bro. Honestly, this is the first repair that I've done that I consider intensive, and I honestly didn't keep a good track of the tools that you'll need.
Sorry about that.
Since we're dealing with a highly pressurized fuel system, we need to depressurize it. Start off by starting up the car. Now under the hood, we need to look around in the auxiliary fuse box that's in the front of the battery, so remove the battery cover and that fuse box cover. With the engine running, pull fuse number 2. This fuse deactivates the fuel pump and should purge the fuel system of all the fuel in the lines, resulting in the car shutting off. Like this. Nice. Now that the car is disabled, remove the engine cover with a T30 Torx bit. Grab yourself a towel and find the Schrader valve on the fuel rail and relieve any excess fuel in the lines. The plan of attack here is to remove these 2 fuel lines and move the wiring harness up and out of the way with the ECU still attached. The wiring harness is held in with 2 10mm nuts, so grab your ratchet and socket and begin to loosen them. I honestly have no clue what size bolts hold the fuel lines in, so use your universal big f***ing wrench to get them undone. There might be some fuel that leaks out from the lines, so lay them down on that towel that you grabbed. The ECU is also held in by a few 10mm bolts, so remove those. If you have balls of steel and don't mind disconnecting the ECU from the harness, just skip this step. After a bit of trial and error, I figured I need to get the throttle body out of the way for some extra space to get the fuel rail out. All it needs is 4 10mm to be removed to get rid of it, and a couple of plugs here and there. Make sure you have a deep 10mm socket, since the bottom 2 nuts that you need to remove from the throttle body only holds on the bracket, and the stud is attached to the rest of the bolt. The same applies with the bolts that hold on the fuel rail, since that's where the wiring harness was sitting. I was pretty lazy at this point, so I just left the inlet pipe attached and just removed the whole throttle body while it was still connected. So undo those 2 studs that hold in the fuel rail. These are the same ones that the wiring harness was sitting on. Also, if you need a little bit of extra room, undo this coolant crossover pipe to get a little extra space for the fuel rail. This is either a 14 or 15mm bolt, I don't exactly remember, so just make sure to have those 2 on hand. The fuel injector wiring also needs to be removed, and these blue tabs need to be pulled up, then the black tab underneath is pressed towards the injector while pulling outwards. It's a little bit tough, so just be patient with it, and eventually you'll get all 4 disconnected. right hand side has a fuel pressure regulator with a vacuum hose attached. Just pull that hose off and put it to the side for now. Now, once you get it completely out, the injector sleeves might be stuck in the engine head, so remember to pull those out with some needle nose pliers. Now it's time for a little
bad unboxing.
But less bad and more better. Post a comment if you remember that iDubbbz reference.
Oh. Ha ha ha.
I really don't remember what I bought since I did the repair like a month or so ago, so enjoy the unboxing montage. Links for all of the things that I got will be in the description below. So now let's switch focus to the fuel rail itself. Start by prying out the old seals where the fuel lines attach to the fuel rail. Removing the fuel injectors to their bare bones is easy. If the sleeves didn't stain the engine head, they just need to be pulled right off the injector. The injector is held onto the fuel rail with this one little clip, so pry that off, and give it a nice yank to free it from the rail. Repeat the same steps for the rest of the injectors. If any of the old injector seals are left in the rail, pry those out too. Next up is the good old FPR or fuel pressure regulator, if you will, that's held in by a few 8mm bolts. Here's where the clickbait gone horrifically wrong comes in. You see these seals I'm taking out of the rail? Yeah, I forgot to replace those. I have no idea how it slipped my mind, but I did. So don't be an idiot like me and keep track of all of your parts. Since we're going to be reusing the old fuel injector sleeves, let's clean them off with some brake cleaner, and take off the old O-rings and replace them with the new ones. Now the new injectors can go in. It's recommended to use a light amount of Vaseline around the seal before you put them in the fuel rail, and it'll just make it a little bit easier to install. Same goes for where the sleeve goes onto the injector. Now do this for all of the injectors. fully secure the injectors, refit the clips to lock the injectors into place. Don't throw away that Vaseline just yet, since we still have to apply some on the sleeves, where the O-rings went, before you slot the fuel rail back into place. Now, before getting everything reinstalled, there's a certain trick to get the rail to seat right. When you get it lined up, you need to apply an equal amount of pressure on the whole rail to get it evenly seated with even pressure. The first time I did this, I didn't get it right, and it ended up with the left fuel injector leaking quite badly when I started up the car. Now it's time to put everything back together. Just remember to plug the fuel pressure regulator hose back in and the temperature sensor. The rest of installation is the reverse of removal. And that's it. You now have fuel injectors in your Saab 9.3. I'll make another video detailing how to return the core parts back to FCP Euro, because that's originally where I bought these remanufactured injectors from. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Thank you for watching.